السلام عليكم. Parif akhbirner. Yesterday we discussed a little bit in regards to taxes that non-Muslims would pay under Islamic governments. And these taxes, which the Christians would pay, would go to establish protection for them under Islamic law and government. Their property would be protected, they would be protected if anything was to happen. So I'm going to list to you the conditions of the poll tax, okay? 6 conditions. Number 1 is they should accept the payment of this tax. Number 2 is they should not do anything that violates the conditions of submission and security, such as deciding to engage with war with Muslims. They should not hurt the Muslims, financially harm them, or sexually harass the Muslims. Because you're only asking for trouble, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, nobody likes genocide, nobody likes war, but you're kind of asking for it when you're signing a document. As an example, you're agreeing to something, you're signing something in order to gain a protection, living under this right. So Armenians have always been under Islamic ruling since time memorial, since the beginning of Islam. Whether it was through Arab invasions, whether it was we're not going to get into the minuscular detail. There's no need. You could do the research, depending on who's right. This is obviously included the Jews, okay? So the Jews are included in this. Non-Jews and non-Christians, such as pagans, are not people of the book. So if anybody in this, through, the people of the book that pays the tax, vilified the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon his spirit, they would get killed. Haskatzak. Haskanumek. I mean, we in history of Armenians, we've had priests, Christian priests fight. Even the Greeks, the Byzantine Greeks, it's in their history as well. The priests came out and they would fight. So please don't say that this is an Islamic this is wrong. So Muslims accept Jesus. Chores. They should not publicly engage in the Islamically forbidden acts such as drinking wine, eating pork, which is actually against Christianity, or marrying those who are forbidden to marry. A Christian man and a Jewish man is forbidden to marry a Muslim woman. A Muslim man can marry a Jewish and a Christian woman without converting them to Islam. Though he should be guided to have them convert, but it's not completely, we'll keep that for now, for there. The covenant is violated if any such deeds are done. Hink. They should not build any synagogues in Muslim lands, ring the synagogue bell, or build their houses to be taller than the houses of the Muslims. They should be subject to the decrees of Islam. The jurisprudents have expressed these 6 conditions for poll tax. These have been discussed in details in books on Islamic jurisprudence. We only made a few remarks to clarify the rights of the people under the protection of Islam as expressed by Imam Sajjad. Now let us see the moral and humane aspects of rights of the people under the protection of Islam. Now I just want to say something that so that I have to continue regardless. I'm going to talk about the responsibility of the Muslims. In a sermon to the people of Kufa, Imam Ali said, soldiers from the Mu'awiyah entered the house of a Muslim woman and a woman under the protection of Islam. He stole their ankles and ornaments. All the poor woman could do was just ask for help and pronounce the verse, "We are from God, and to him shall we return." Then the soldiers got back loaded with wealth without suffering any wounds or being killed. I would not wonder if any Muslim man dies due to the grieving over these events. When we see how much the leader of the Muslims get upset when a person under the protection of Islam is oppressed, then we realize how important it is to respect these rights. When Imam Ali saw an old Christian man who was begging, he asked who he was. He asked who he was. When they told him that he was a Christian, he said, "You used him when he was young, but have abandoned him in these conditions now that he is old and unable to work." Then Imam Ali issued an order for the state to support him financially. Ya akhi aziznir, deshek, gartatsek, zarkatsek. Knowledge is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Clarity, knowledge. Directly from the Imams. the Ahlul Bayt. Respecting the covenant. One of the main moral issues regarding the people under the protection of Islam is respecting their covenant as expressed by Imam Sajjad. God has said the following in the Holy Quran: "And fulfill every engagement, for every engagement will be inquired into on the day of reckoning." The Holy Those who faithfully observe their trusts and their covenants. Respecting the covenant is stressed in these two verses of the Holy Quran. This is considered one of the salient characteristics of the believers. An oath of one believer to another is like a bet without any expiation. One must honor an oath just as he has to honor a bet. The noble prophet said, "Whoever believes in God and the resurrection day should honor his oath." He also said, "In the hereafter, those of you who are most honest, most trustworthy, and most loyal to your oaths, and most well behaved, and people loving will be closest to me." Again, Islam recognizes Jesus as a prophet. This verse in the Holy Quran: "God forbids you, with regard to those who fight you not for your faith, nor drive you out of your homes, from dealing kindly and justly with them. For God loved those who are just." God only forbids you with regard to those who fight you for your faith and drive you out of your homes, and support others and drive you out, from turning to them for friendship and protection. It is such a turn to them in these circumstances that do wrong. The Holy Quran 68-9. The Holy Quran invites the people of the book to be in harmony with the Muslims on ideological issues and admonishes them against disunion, as we can read in the following verse: "O people of the book, come to common terms as between us and you, that we worship none but one God, and that we associate no partner